Hi everyone, this is Siris Rivas from Empowering Light Language. And today I was reminiscing on this amazing weekend I had. I had the honor, the pleasure of getting to spend time with a 5, 7, and 10-year-old all weekend, my boyfriend's children. And they're just phenomenal. They're such a gift. And one of the things that I was already aware of, and yet it just was super, super clear even more this weekend, was how quickly they just shift the energy. Kids shift the energy. These particular kids are, all of them, super potent and aware and super creative and really sweet, and affectionate. And I'm just so, so grateful to have them in my life. And one of the things that showed up was, both me and their dad, we've been having a kind of rough couple of weeks after he called off our wedding engagement and things like that. And not really to focus on that, but one of the things that there was still a little bit of crunchiness. We've come a long way. There's a lot that's shifted for both of us individually and together, personally and professionally and everything. And there was still a little crunchiness there. And I knew that when we were going to have the kids this weekend, that it was going to shift things. And I wasn't sure exactly how, but I was hoping it would be for the greater and more positive. And that's exactly what showed up. It was amazing to have them around. Immediately, both of us were in way better of a mood. There's a lot more laughter. There was just a lot more affection, physical and verbal affection. And at least that first day. And then all of a sudden something shifted again. And I was like, what is going on here? But it wasn't with me or my boyfriend. It was actually with one of the kids. One of the girls, it's 2 girls and a boy, and she's really was like kind of verbally and energetically attacking the one boy. And like all weekend I was like, go, go, go. And like constantly wanting to make him wrong and make him feel stupid and like saying things in really sarcastic kind of mean tone. And we kept calling her out on it and be like, stop, like, what are you doing? Like, who are you being? And finally this morning it was so much that they were playing a video game. And I heard her saying these really mean comments to him, to the boy, basically, and this is the youngest, this is the 5-year-old, trying to make the 7-year-old really wrong, like, and basically implying that he was stupid, that he didn't, because he didn't know something that she knew, and was like, oh, how could you not know that, and that whole thing. And it was this energy of bullying that I'd kind of gotten peeks into from her before, but not to this extent. And this isn't her. Like, if you meet her, she's one of the sweetest, like most considerate, always wants to be helpful at people you'll ever meet. And when she's being her. And so here she is saying these things, and immediately I was like, hey, stop. Who are you being right now? Your brother is neither stupid nor wrong. So what are you doing right now? Do you get that what you're saying is trying to make him stupid and wrong when he's not? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, do you want to keep doing that? Is that what you would like to tell him as a message? And she was like, no. I was like, because that's what you're creating. Would you like to continue to create that? And she just was quiet, but basically was saying no. And it was this really potent energy that I was being in it. For a quick second, I was like, ooh, shoot, should I have said that to her? Like, and I didn't yell at her, but I was very firm. And I was like, this is not okay. And it was one of those moments where I was like, man, how many kids do not have someone that would speak up against a bully like that, even if it is someone that loves them and cares for them like a sibling? Like, I remember in my household, we weren't allowed to bully each other like that either. And it was one of the gifts of that my mom instilled as a rule in our house. Was like, we couldn't bully each other. We couldn't call each other stupid. And not like stupid in like oh, you're being so stupid. No, it was like she was really trying to make him wrong. And one of the things that I immediately asked myself after I got over the fact that, no, it's actually creating more. She needs to know that this isn't okay. And this, if that's if she doesn't want to be that person that does that, that's bullying, that's unkind like that, then she needs to know that that's what her choices were creating. And it definitely woke her up, and I saw that, and that was good. And I noticed it shifted from that point on, and hopefully it'll be a long-lasting shift. The other thing, though, is I wonder what she was aware of. Like, I wonder what scenario and who she was being in that moment. And it's not about blame. It's really just to be like, oh, she wasn't being her. As soon as I recognized she wasn't being her, like, I was like, is this the new person she's becoming? Like, is this the choices and steps that she's making to become, like, as she's like growing up, that this is who she's going to become? And when I asked that, it was super heavy. So I was like, no, I'm going to call her out on this so that she can get that she's not being herself right now, and that she could choose what she would like to be, what energy she would like to be, what kind of person she would like to be in the world. And there's definitely a lot of us that I had so much bullying, starting at, well, actually, basically most of my life from different family members. But in school, it was so much, especially starting at like 3rd grade. Gosh, I even had some in kindergarten if I really sit with it. Like, it can start so early. Like, I remember when I was using the school bathroom, and there were a bunch of 8th graders that crawled up over the walls of the bathroom stall and were like taunting me as a kindergartner while I was sitting in the toilet using the bathroom, like taunting me about my body and like how little I was and all these different things. And I was just bawling at the end of the day. And I went and I told my parents, and they talked to the school and everything. There was no one to say anything to them in that moment. And there were a bunch of them. And I was like, what if we actually empowered our children to speak up the way I spoke up to her and call them out? Because I get now, hindsight is 2020, that they only were doing that because they knew they got at some level that I was really powerful and potent. People bully you when they perceive a strength in you that you're not willing to tap into and acknowledge for yourself yet. And I get how powerful and strong I am now. It wasn't always the case. It wasn't always a fact that I was willing to really live and be in the world. For most of my life, I wasn't willing to be as strong and as powerful and as potent and as aware as I'm willing to be now, and I'm still asking for more of that to show up. And one of the targets that I have with the kids that I work with, be it the ones that attend my classes or the ones that I work in directly with private speech and language and learning and behavioral therapy, is to empower them for them to know who they really are, and for them to not let anyone, even if it's someone that says that they love you, bully you and make you feel small or wrong or stupid ever. It's never acceptable. And if I had these access consciousness tools, if I had the awareness that I have now and the willingness to be everything that I am and everything that's really true for me, when I was that little 5-year-old girl, man, who knows what I would be doing right now. I probably would have way more money and have traveled to even more countries and changed even more people's lives. Who knows? I recognize that I've traveled and made a lot of money and have impacted a lot of people's lives. And what else is possible? What else would be possible if bullying ceased to exist? What would actually be possible if, even in the face of bullying and the possibility of it showing up, that these kids would know what energy to be to eradicate it from their world and their realities? That's one of the targets. Yeah. I would love to live in that world. How about you? So that's my musing for today. Please post below and let me know what you have told the kids that you love and work with about bullying that has worked, that has changed their lives, that has empowered them. I'm always wanting to learn more tools and techniques and strategies to empower the kids that I work with and the ones that I get to live and play with. Let me know what else could I have said to this 5-year-old that would hopefully have a longer lasting result in her world and her reality, so she realizes that she doesn't have to bully to prove that she's right or that she's potent. She could just know that she's awesome and a gift to this world, just like you are. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you have a good afternoon, morning, evening, wherever you are. Talk to you soon. Bye.